Good evening, everyone. Welcome, Al. Welcome, anyone viewing anonymously. We are heading into the last few Homestuck Epilogue streams. It has indeed been a good week for Chris Homestuck Images. But yes, a very good week for Homestuck in general. As you can see, I have a lot of tabs open. So, without further ado, let's start community news, because there is a lot to talk about. So first and foremost, this was August 19th, earlier this week. The Homestuck Epilogues. Viz Media revealed what the cover would look like for the physical copy of the Homestuck Epilogues. Not surprising that they're doing this. Kind of saw it coming. A couple people are also making reference to the cheeky line that Dirk has in Meat, where he said, flip the whole thing over and start from the beginning. You're physically flipping the whole book over to start. I like the way that they formatted it, and I like just like the whole aesthetic design of the cover, really. Yeah. So this is happening. That's pretty cool. Not sure if I'll be making the purchase myself. There's been no word as to definitively whether or not there will be any commentary or anything extra other than just the epilogues. And I'm not sure. Oh, it will be. Where's the Amazon link? $34.99, and that is US dollars. So, customers who bought this item also bought Final Fantasy VII Remake for PlayStation 4 and Pokemon Sword for Nintendo Switch. Thanks, Amazon. Yeah, so, and that's US dollars. Canadian dollars, that'd be approximately 25% more. Even if it was 35 Canadian dollars, it'd be walking a thin line for me. So, I don't know. We'll see. If there's some extra cool stuff in it, I might take the leap. But for now, I'm going to say, maybe. You'd think they'd buy Kingdom Hearts if they were going to buy a Square Enix game. Look, there's been so much fucking Final Fantasy on my Twitter newsfeed that I had to block a bunch of Final Fantasy words because I wasn't seeing the shit that I actually knew about or that I actually followed people for. So I am super not surprised that the Final Fantasy VII Remake is showing up on here. But yeah, I'll link. Let me get my document ready. All my links for the description of the YouTube video, everything that is shown up here will be linked in the description underneath the video for ease of access, if you would like to take a look at the webpage yourself. And the next announcement of the week, the biggest, of course. The secret project has been announced, although supposedly there's more secret projects. Holy fuck. That's just from reading, I don't know, I think James Roach mentioned it somewhere on his Twitter. But this is Pesterquest coming September 4th, which is really fucking soon. Actually, September 4th is 13 days away because they said they were trying to move away from the number dates so they can just do things whatever, but they're still doing shit like this. Fucking love it. Okay, So, here is actually the email that was sent out from the What Pumpkin mail list. Yeah, it's FriendSim2 / Homestuck 1.5. I'm not sure about the title of Homestuck 1.5. It has the original cast of Homestuck characters. It is not specifically a Hive swap. I don't think it has anything to do with Hive swap other than MSPA Reader coming straight off the Hive swap friend sims. But yes, I don't know why they didn't post this on their website. I wanted to see if they posted it in their news section of the What Pumpkin website, but all I got is this email. So I clicked view this email in your browser, and here it is. Pesterquest. This was their announcement email. New planet, new friends. Pesterquest begins September 4th. Timelines collide in the new chapter of the FriendSim story. After befriending the weird and wild trolls of HiveSwap FriendSim, it's time to meet some kids a little closer to home. Zap to Earth to meet new friends in Pesterquest, the next visual novel in the Homestuck universe. Your favorite artists, writers, and musicians return from HiveSwap FriendSim with new talent joining their ranks as the 14-volume tale unfolds. Start making friends and messing up canon on September 4th with the first 2 volumes by Andrew Hussey and Aisha Ufera. Yes! This time around, you can make every friend in one affordable bundle. That's 20 incredible characters for just $12 US. If you're excited for this universe-crossing friend 'em up, wishlist us on Steam. Happy pestering. So, bundle fee, $12, period, you get all of them. Unlike HiveSwap FriendSim, where each volume you had to purchase individually. I just reminded myself, I emailed myself even more tweets. And I think I forgot to actually grab the links. Let me see. Are any of these ones that I don't have open? One of them is. Okay, let me copy that link. So, who's ready to befriend preteen John and Rose? I know. Okay, we'll get to it. We will get to that. Let me just where the fuck am I looking? Okay, this. I'm pretty sure this link should work for just about anyone. No, there's no Pesterquest website. This is just the What Pumpkin announcement email, but in like viewable browser form. Okay. Yeah, so that's their announcement. Here's our Steam page. So, again, Alex saying, hey, John and Rose, pre-game, which are definitely going to be the first 2 volumes because this is John's house in his neighborhood. This is Rose's house in her middle of nowhere. And notably, nothing is destroyed by meteors. Yes, there are 20 characters, 14 volumes, and the first 2 volumes by Hussey and Aisha, respectively, are coming out on September 4th, which is also my first day of classes. I'm not happy about that. But I may have class at 8:30 in the morning, but then I get to come home and play motherfucking this. Yeah, so there's not... actually, I'm gonna jump around a little bit. Wait, let me pop this link into a document. I'm gonna jump around a little bit. Right, so this is... So Trace is involved. Trace Excalibur, David Turnbull is involved once again in the Pesterquest game, just as he was in FriendSim. So, will each volume of Pesterquest include 2 character routes like the volumes of FriendSim did? So he said, not always. Some releases will be 1 character, some will be 2 characters. It's 20 characters total being spread out over 13 bi-weekly content drops. And for the record, Volume 1 and 2 are both being released at launch, and that's why there's 13 updates, but 14 volumes advertised on the Steam page. So, that answers that question as to how the character distribution is going to work over the volumes. As well, Right, so, and then will we get announcements and hints about who will be in the next volume like Friendsome, or will it be a surprise? Not sure. Fellow Traveler is probably in charge of that now. I'll still keep y'all up to date, but my halcyon days as an unofficial announcement guy are over. So, we could, deduce from the website, the Steam page, who the first 2 volumes are going to be, but it's kind of up in the air as to whether or not we're gonna even have hints for the next volumes. Joseph Abertion, jeez. But yeah, so let's see what we can get out of the plot here, because there's a couple of dialogue boxes that come up. So this is from Longsroot, Chixie, Tysius through Longsroot again. I can't remember whose this is. I know it's late game though. Yeah, so we see Doc Scratch, and then, putting the pieces. Sit here, please. And then we get this, which, I don't know if I'm the only one, but when I realized this was what it was about, I couldn't stop fucking laughing, okay? It goes, what the fuck? Are you serious? What kind of ending was that? Absolutely nothing got resolved as he's looking at the fucking epilogues. And then there's one more text one on the Steam page here. You click to the last page of the Homestuck Epilogues. You read it. Then you read it again. You scroll down to go to the next section and find nothing. So he takes off. With that in mind, you leave behind this ridiculous altercation, trampling a pile of notes and photographs underfoot as you make a run for the fenestrated wall. See ya, suckers! So he tries to make a run for the fucking fenestrated wall, and instead gets... Wait, no. You see a glimmer in the distance. A bright white light. Swallowing down the surge of panic, you move towards it. And he gets the juju rather than the fourth wall. Oh, welcome, Sneak Cat. We're just taking a closer look at all of the information we have on Pesterquest so far. Infinite power. Yeah, MSPA Reader is now one with the juju, as John was as well. Ooh, Electrical Storm. Ooh. Decanonizes the epilogue to flex on Doc Scratch. How could you decanonize something when canon doesn't exist? True. Yeah. And the epilogues technically are not canon. Homestuck proper is the closed story, and everything else is extra canonical. And, very, very open to interpretation. Oh yeah, MSPA Reader is like a very, let's say a very powerful being. Yeah, I believe the authors did confirm MSPA Reader is a genderless being, essentially. Okay, so just as when John reached into the juju, we get a more description of what that felt like. Because with John, we kind of saw him pop in and out of existence, but there was no text to describe it, right? So, F on your oh yes, I will absolutely give you an F for your pizza. Rip. Yes, MSP Reader is now infinitely powerful. But yeah, now we get a description of maybe how that might have felt for John as well. Right, so it says, a barrage of images hits you. Broken, chaotic flashes, too fractured to make sense of. You just stuck your hand into the most powerful item in the whole of this narrative, and your body is not taking it well. It hurts, it burns, it unravels you from the inside out, and then everything goes white. And that is our fucking setup, which, like, y'all, I really cannot possibly describe how fucking excited I am for this. Oh my god. Okay. Someone who isn't a God to Your Breath player does it. I mean, yeah, we don't know what exactly the difference is, what's happening here, but yes, we do know the MSPA reader was very upset at the end of the epilogues and decided to run back into canon to fucking, oh my god, I don't even know what. But I just, like, God, I could not stop fucking laughing. I don't know why I found that so fucking hilarious, but I just found it absolutely hilarious. Okay, let's start taking a look at some more of these tweets and other info that I gathered. So Aisha is actually the director of Pesterquest. Yes, updated description uses narrative director specifically of Pesterquest, which is super exciting, and has also written a few. Of course, we know the first route, one of the first 2 volumes that are coming out will be written by Aisha. And yeah, I love this. I'm really happy for her, and I'm so fucking excited. What else from Aisha? Oh yes, now we get into these people are also returning section, which includes, yeah, sorry about that. My Facebook just started screaming at me. Let me put my phone on silent. That's a good idea. There we go. Any symbolic meaning behind them saying everything went white instead of more common, everything went black? Well, in Homestuck, when John was zapping through space, whenever he was in between narratives, so to speak, when he wasn't strictly in the story, it was a blank white space. Right? Like, he has that conversation, he swoops in and zaps himself, and then has that conversation with himself in the blank white space, that kind of void space. And then that is also where the Land of Wind and Shade ends up before they take the whole dang thing into the post-Recon timeline. So there is already kind of that connection between the Juju and void white space, blank white space. I should be like, I control a Homestuck. Fuck yeah. But yes, other people who are returning. Geezy, Aisha's dad, is also writing under the route, doing some writing for Pesterquest, which is super exciting. Oh my god. He had a really interesting writing style in the Hype Swap Front Sims. I'm excited to see some more. Yes, David Turnbull, Trace at Pesterquest Hype, Trace Excalibur. Jade fans, grab your sippy straws and get ready, because I'm going to pour y'all a big ol' motherfucking glass of juice. So Trace is writing Jade. That much we can deduce from that, which, if Gamzee is, yeah, Gamzee gonna be in there somewhere. Okay, yes, no, this is the other, did I put that link in there already? Yeah, I did, okay. And this is also what Trace had to say about the length of routes, which is just generally, relevant and important thing. Griever Jojo stuck. True, that is right. I don't know if Griever posted that anywhere specifically, but I do know that Griever is one of the people who wrote for Pesterquest. which I am so excited about, because I mean, I have not read JoJo Stuck, but I've read many of Griever's just like supposed like little drabbles every once in a while, and the character voices are so spot on perfect, and the things that he writes are hilarious. So I am very pumped to see what Griever has written for Pesterquest. But in terms of the length, so are they going to be roughly the same length as in the Hive Swap Friends and Roots? I expect the average to be slightly longer than Friendsim Roots, but it kind of depends on the writer. For example, the first root written by Andrew is about the same as Friendsim Roots have been. The next couple are a bit longer than Friendsim Roots were. My root is kind of huge. I got carried away. So, y'all, I'm so fucking excited for Jade, because she got fucking shafted in the epilogues. She got pretty shafted in Homestuck proper, and I want all of the Jade content. I want so much Jade. I want to be drowning in Jade content. And Trace is going to provide. I'm so excited to Sneak Cat. Reconnects with someone. How many will be friendsim trolls? I mean, yeah, I feel like because they said 20 characters, that it's going to be the 12 beta trolls, the 4 beta kids, the 4 alpha kids. But again, these are folks who are known for breaking the fucking formula. So, who knows? Jump around timelines. Yeah, like, I mean, we already know that we're hopping into the first volume before they've even entered the game. And I saw, I think it was Floral Marsupial, has been excitedly theorizing, what if we're hopping through Dream Bubbles and Doom timelines? So Dream Bubbles is another idea. Oh yeah, so this here, Lalo Hunt confirmed to be back. You thought you'd seen the last of me. Really excited for Lalo Hunt. Lalo wrote the John and Roxy conversation that we are likely going to read today. That beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing was indeed the work of Lalo Hunt. So I'm really excited. I think Lalo also wrote Tysius, if I remember correctly. So either way, very, very excited to see more from Lalo Hunt. And what is this one? Oh yeah, so this is just confirming that the first volume is coming out, the first 2 volumes are coming out on a Wednesday, and then the preceding volumes are also going to be coming out on Wednesdays as well. So the release schedule is on Wednesday. So it's Friendsim Wednesday. Holy shit. Okay, so that's all of my links. Wow. That was a full half an hour. Not surprised. But yes, that is indeed thorough rundown of, I'm pretty sure I hit on most of, if not all of, the information we currently have on Pesterquest. And I will, of course, be streaming Pesterquest. And so moving into, so I mentioned earlier, September 4th, Pesterquest comes out. It's also my first day of classes. Yay, school. What I am thinking right now is, here's how streams are going to go. This weekend, we finish the Homestuck Epilogues, and I have decided not to continue the Problem with Sleuth stream. I apologize if anyone was very excited or looking forward to that, but I just, I just had to sit down and look at myself and be like, do you really want to, though? And the answer is that I didn't. When you initially started the Problem Sleuth stream, I just really wasn't feeling it, and I don't want to force it. I don't want to be doing something that I'm not actually enjoying. Not that I don't like Problem Sleuth, I just don't really feel like streaming it is the right way for me to go. February 19th is when it finishes. Alright, sweet. Thank you for doing the math. I was trying to say maths, but it did not work out. The math for that. February 19th. Alright. Yeah, it's gonna be another long haul. Gonna be a good one. But anyway, so what I'm gonna do for weekend streams is I think through this term, so this is my last year of university, I'm gonna have a lot to think about, gonna be starting to apply to master's programs, all of that. I'm gonna cancel bonus streams for now, but I am going to move Dream Daddy into the weekend slot. So weekend streams will be Dream Daddy until we finish Dream Daddy, and then I will start the next Homestuck reread stream. I know, it's fucking... There's Halloween candy in stores, I know, right? Like, damn. But yeah, so that is the plan. For Pesterquest streams, on the weeks that there is a Pesterquest volume, that will be the Friday stream. That will be the first stream of the weekend when there is a new volume of Pesterquest. Otherwise, it will be Dream Daddy until we finish that completely, and then move into the next Homestuck reread. So that is the plan for now. I will still be doing bonus stream next week because that's my last full week of break. So that's that. Just to let you all know how things are going moving forward. Yes, and I will be continuing to upload Dream Daddy streams to YouTube. I will be uploading Pesterquest streams as they come along. I will not be uploading the Homestuck reread streams. I never intended for weekend streams to be uploaded to YouTube. I wanted to do it with the epilogues because they were new and it was like a, cultural moment. The moment's over. It's been a few months, but it's chill. And, the bonus streams are just fun. But, Homestuck reread streams I will not be uploading. Everything else I will. That being Pesterquest and Dream Daddy. Halloween costume. Ugh. God. Yeah. If I ever have anything to do on Halloween, I usually just recycle cosplays. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna have fuck, I forgot to fill my water bottle. Okay. I'm gonna play this for a little bit. I should be back, honestly, before this song ends. I just need to fill up my water bottle because hydration is important when you're talking your fucking face off. Alright, thanks so much for sticking with me through all that. I know that was a whole lot of blabbing about a whole bunch of different things. Ooh, Jade Harley. Nice. Oh, you were a car cat for Halloween last year. Yeah. Last year, I handed out candy at my house for Halloween. And I dressed up in my salamander onesie. Like, I made a onesie with, like, the tail that looks like the salamander consorts. Yeah. That was very comfy. It was very fucking hot, though. It was a fucking warm-ass cosplay. It's, like, good for winter cons and shit. Okay. I need water, so I will be back in like 1 minute. Told y'all I would be back before the song's over. And the song was just ending as I entered my room. Alright, let's get started. Okay, hold up. I got all that water and then I didn't actually drink any of it. That is antithetical to the point of getting water. Okay. Water has been had. So, okay, the Vriska conversation. This is a really good one. It's definitely one of my favorites out of the whole epilogues. 37. Because Vriska only spent a few minutes on Prospect before her dream self was whisked away to the battlefield the moment she ascended to her god-tier form, she never actually got to enjoy Prospect life as much as some of her friends did, which by all accounts involved a lot of leisure time. Floating around, lounging about in the golden crenellations, and looking at pretty much the only thing there was to look at on Prospect, the big blue sphere full of prescient clouds known as Skya. She's certain Terzi must have spent more than her share of time ogling the fluffy nimbus forms, or sniffing in their direction at least. This must have been what life on Prospect felt like, Vriska thinks, as she adjusts her head to a slightly more comfortable position on the fresh clown carcass she's now using as a pillow. She lets out a long exhale, feeling more relaxed than she's felt in a long time. The clouds aren't showing her any visions, but that's okay. She realizes you can see whatever you want to see in a cloud if you spend a long enough time looking at its shape. All that's really required is a willingness to let yourself waste the time. A willingness she only just discovered minutes ago, since wringing the life from a libidinous harlequin. Oh, fuck, what? Whoops. Alright, thanks for letting me know. Gone now. I know, killing Gamzee has an immediate positive effect. Yeah. You would not have guessed. Yes, they were both Prospect. I think that one is a sort of snake. A snake with a strangely big head. Nah, it's a pipe. A what? It's a thing you smoke with. Oh, you mean like the human marijuana I've heard Dave ramble about sometimes? God, you really did grow up on an alien planet, didn't you? Yes, as a matter of fact, I did. I'm from a world which was home to the race you yourself are apparently a member of. Yeah, but I'm actually normal? No offense. Killing Gamzee in a Telltale game? Everybody liked that. None taken. You're a lot like me, really. I mean, unsurprisingly, this shouldn't be shocking news. You just kind of remind me of my mom. Not in many ways. I just mean you say shit that makes it obvious that this isn't where you grew up. How is Kanaya, by the way? Boring and old. Old and boring as fuck. Sounds about right. I mean, older than us, by a lot. Right, they're both 16 right now. But you knew her when you were the same age, so that's why I said that? Fuck it. She's like regular. A basic-ass mom. She's fine. I like her. Both my moms are alright. They're a little obsessed with all this war shit, though. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Old people get hella bent out of shape about war and politics. Same shit as always. You're right. I guess that's how it was in my culture, too. Vriska doesn't seem to have a response to this. Her parents have told her many tales of Alternia, and her curiosity about the subject was satiated sometime before she entered high school. She shrugs and turns her attention back to the sky. Another nimbus cloud wanders lazily into view and catches Vriska's eye due to its peculiar shape. That one there, that's some sort of squat can-like building, right? What? Like the ridiculous structures my friends used to build with the mayor. Hey, is the mayor still around? The mayor's dead, dude. God. Stab right in the fucking heart. Like, oh. Can I get an F in chat for the mayor, please? Because R.I.P. that adorable little motherfucker. Shit. I loved the mayor. Everyone loved the mayor. He's in our damn history books. Wow. But you see what I mean, right? That one. Lol. You don't know anything. Kinda cute, actually. What? Then what is it, smartass? It's a cake. A birthday cake. See? Those are candles. It's so obvious. Oh, like those shitty things John's dad was always making? Guess so. What's with all the clouds shaped like John stuff? Like that one there. That's a big dollop of shaving cream, right? Nah. That's just a normal cloud, I think. Fine. Bad example. But that one, that's definitely a human hat. Oh yeah, it totally is. Just a fucking sky hat. Right there. Is Earthsea always like this? I don't know. I never noticed. Mayor died of radiation poisoning jokes. That's true. He fucking ate uranium. So, this is one of those things where it's like, are the clouds actually John-shaped things? Like, is this part of John's influence? This, like, god of wind? Air of breath? Is this just John on the brain for these two? Vriska scans the sky. She notices a few more John-specific cloud shapes. A ghost over there, a beagle puss just overhead. But the more she stares at them, the more she realizes her ability to recognize the shapes is beginning to fade. They start to resemble fluffy, amorphous blobs. Was it all just in her imagination? Maybe this is just crazy nonsense, actually. Seeing shapes in the clouds, I mean. Maybe. Okay. Or maybe the truth just makes me kind of nervous. What truth? Don't tell him I said this, but I think John is just an extremely powerful being, even when he sucks. And he certainly does appear to suck in this reality. And yet, the uneasy feeling is there. It's a vague feeling I've had in the back of my mind for a long time, but it really hit me when I was talking to him earlier. It's disturbing to think about that much power bottled up in one stupid nerd who'll never understand it. Yeah, if that's true. Yeah, John could have subconsciously influenced the clouds. Yeah, he did, along with his emotions, have like that uncontrollable storm in Jane's house. So he could be subconsciously influencing the clouds. But yeah, Vriska has the most meta aspect. You can't comprehend the meta parts of other aspects. Yeah. Wind powers are the shape reality powers. But yeah, it's very possible that this is literally just John influencing the clouds. Right. And one stupid nerd who'll never understand it. What power are you even talking about? Like, dumb wind powers? No, I mean, the power to shape reality, even without intending to. Like, just falling backwards into the most insanely overpowered bullshit, when the rest of us have to work our asses off for a fraction of that kind of power and relevance. He could rewrite everything that ever happened if he wanted. And he could probably even bend reality to his will in certain ways, even if he didn't have the slightest idea what he was doing, which he usually doesn't. He'd probably manage to be more relevant than I could ever dream of being, even if he was dead. It's a little depressing to think about, actually. No it's not. Harry's dad is a joke. He's a washed-up loser. He's not worth feeling shitty about at all. Wow. You know what? You're right. Man, that is such a good attitude. Why didn't I say that? I used to say shit like that. Yeah, Vriska's like, you got all this fucking power. And it's like, well, he used to, but now he's this. Vriska turns to face Vriska, propping her head up a little higher in the... Whoops. Sorry, I think I just elbowed my microphone stand. Epic divorce man indeed, Aleph. Epic divorce man indeed. Vriska turns to face Vriska, propping her head a little higher up on the torso to get comfortable. The Vriskas have become virtually oblivious to the fact that a strangled juggalo is currently functioning as a throw pillow. It feels right, natural even, as if he was never meant to serve any purpose other than that of a deceased soft vehicle for head and neck support between two blossoming friends. Hey, can I just ask, why were you making out with this ridiculous shithead? Wow, could we maybe not talk about that? I'm fucking embarrassed. I'm not even judging. It's not like I can blame you. Sometimes a girl just needs to give up on her dignity for a while and kiss a dumb clown. That does a lot to explain my relationship with Harry, actually. Oh! Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Let's just call it a brief and inadvisable catharsis through fleeting clown lust and agree to never speak of this again. You got it. But anyway, I was trying to make a point. I have to say, I'm almost a little jealous of you. Jealous? Jealous. Why? I've done fuck all. I go to high school and that's about it. Haven't you, literally ascended to godhood, created multiple universes, and killed guys and stuff? Yes, I did do all that stuff. Didn't you mind control some idiot to jump off a cliff and he got paralyzed, but then you started dating him or something? Yeah. That was before I killed him. LMAO. I hate that. Tavros deserved better, and that's all I'm going to say on the matter. It's cool, though. We made up. As ghosts, I mean. Well, a different copy of me did that, but I still think it counts. And I don't think they ever, actually made up. Whatever. It's just one thing I did. Who can even keep track of that stuff? Didn't you blind some obnoxious bitch one time? Hey! Some of this stuff is kind of private. Anyway, the point wasn't to go strolling down memory lane on some of the badass things I've done. Yeah, sure, because that whole situation with Tavros was so badass. Not that there isn't a lot of great material there. I'm just saying, with the life you're living here, you just seem free? Free to just be yourself and be cool and not really care too much about other people's horse shit. And then proceeded to ruin that alternate version of me's love life. God, that's fucking true. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. It's been a long day. Page of Blood. Oh, that's wonderful. Horace deserved worse. Horace is certainly a character who exists. I spent so long caring so much about what other people thought of me, mainly that they just saw me as important or making a difference. It's such a futile struggle sometimes, and I thought I was doing so well and getting so close to the big prize. And then I end up here? It's like a big joke. And sometimes it feels like real freedom is just understanding that. And when you do, it comes through in your personality, and it's a lot easier to just seem cool, you know? I guess. This is really funny. I feel like such a fuck up, because now that I'm saying this, I realize there was a person like that I met once. Like you, sorta. It was just another version of myself. She was genuinely happy and living her best life, even though she was ironically a ghost. But something about her attitude set me off, so I ripped her to pieces. Also, I sort of stole her girlfriend. Holy shit. I know, I'm terrible. Yeah, now she's realizing why she got so fucking mad at Alt Vriska. I know, I'm terrible. No, not really. That all sounds kind of legendary, TBH. No, I know how it sounds. Just please, don't look at me like some sort of role model, okay? This isn't good. The point is, it's bad. Take it from me, don't do the shit where you start modeling yourself after some mental image you have of a cooler version of yourself. It just sucks. Alright, whatever you say. Ugh, this isn't going the direction I was hoping. The point is, I was so mad at her, that happy ghost version of myself who was free of everything. I was probably mad because she got to be who she really was without stressing about it, which is something I never felt like I was allowed to have. Well, you can now, right? What the fuck is stopping you? I guess so. I wonder what the point would be. What do you mean? I could be a better version of myself than I am, but then who would even be around to notice? I would. Oh, yeah, no, I mean, that's great. And since it's nice talking to you and getting stuff off my chest, it's not what I meant, though. I let the people I cared most about behind. What's the point in becoming your best self if the people most important to you aren't around to witness it? Oh my god, she's getting all up talking about fucking Thursday. Aren't all your friends here, though? I know they're a bunch of old fucks now, but... No, they are. That's not what I mean. This is hard to explain. I guess I mean there's someone specifically I fell out of touch with who it feels like I'll never see again. Oh. Maybe... Vriska thinks for a while on her next statement. She needs the time to let a thought she'd never had before arrange itself into words. Maybe that's why I hated my ghost self so much. Why? Because I just had a sense. On some level, I knew she was right. She was happy and honest with herself, and that's what made her a version of myself who was actually worthy of someone I cared about. Don't get me wrong, we had a nice time for a few years living on that meteor. It was a good, stable, pale relationship, but that's all it was. You couldn't really connect in a deeper way because I was still the way I am, I guess. Layers and layers of armor and defenses. And I had some mysterious feeling that a weak ghost version of myself was always meant to form the kind of connection with her that I never could, because she didn't have any of that stuff getting in the way. Which is probably why I flipped out at her. The person you're talking about here, it kind of sounds like you love her. Oh, things are happening in chat. Oh, Jane's... I mean, yeah, there's potential threads that lead the way to Jane, this being within the reaction range of Jane's character throughout Homestuck. But, Verse Resi is definitely, like, yeah, it is one of the most integral, like, relationships to the comic. Like, it's the moment that they're introduced in Act 4. Would it have been Act 3 when the trolls started pestering them? Might have been Act 3. But, like, the moment the two of them, you know, make their appearances and their relationship is revealed, it just, like, blossoms and blooms into this thing that's threads through everything all the way to the very end. Also, this is, like, really gay, and I'm a fan of that. It kind of sounds like you love her. What? No. Okay, whatever. I don't believe this. I mean, maybe? Sorta. It's a complicated feeling. It actually doesn't sound that complicated, but again, whatever. I don't know. I still feel sort of messed up about this, and I don't think I can pinpoint exactly how I feel. Maybe you can't even boil it down to one quadrant at all. Yeah, that just immediately, I was like, Carcat. Carcat's only, because everyone always pegs Carcat as, like, you know, you want her in every quadrant like a desperate fool, right? From that, like, pastoral conversation and struggling with being outside of the norms of alternating relationships. And this is like, and then she's like, immediately nopes the fuck out of it. It's like, yep, you will deal with that eventually. It'll be okay. Who are we talking about here? I don't think I can talk about this anymore. Oh god, it's not my mom, is it? Or one of them? Oh, fuck no, not them. Anyway, they're living on this planet. Remember I said I'd probably never see her again? Yeah, you're just talking about the girl you blinded that one time, aren't you? Maybe I'm not fucking stupid? I know some lore. Vriska rolls her head against the clown cadaver to face the sky again. Even if this is another near duplicate of herself who's easy to confide in, maybe she's said too much already. Maybe she's even admitted too much to herself. Moments pass in silence. I'm pretty sure Harry's dad used to talk to her a lot. What? The blind girl. He did? When? I don't know. Years ago. How is that possible? I mean, from this place? That was definitely one of the most iconic epilogue lines, is fucking this. Maybe you're not fucking stupid. I know some lore. What? Earthsea? I don't think I get the question. You still don't seem to understand. We're all inside... Never mind. What were they even talking about? I have no idea. You want to look? Look at what? Just a minute ago, I swiped his phone. You stole John's phone? Oh, I forgot that's how they got in touch. God. Yeah, I steal stuff sometimes. The habit's probably just in my DNA. Well, yeah, let's take a look. Vriska hands over the phone. It exhibits decades of use. This is not the device of a man who frequently upgrades his technology. There's no password to unlock it. Vriska scrolls upward on a text exchange for quite some time. How far back does this go? Not sure. Before I was hatched, at least. This is all weirdly flirtatious? Yeah. Terzi was like that with a lot of people, though. Still, it's a little jarring. It's all kind of blowing my mind. You know what this means, don't you? What? You can contact her. Holy shit. Vriska clicks on the reply field. Her thumbs hover over the digital keys. What would I even say? Tell her you love her. Oh, shut the fuck up. But seriously, I have no idea where she is or what she's doing. Is she old now too, like everyone else? That would feel weird. Only one way to find out. Vriska stands up and paces in circles around the vanquished bard. Vriska maintains her relaxed position while studying the cloud shapes again, providing Vriska with a wide berth for this critical rumination. Finally, Vriska stops pacing and begins typing. Hey, Terzi. This isn't John. It's Vriska. And then those messages start coming through, like, out of, and then she doesn't look at her phone. It's like right before, it's like while she's talking to Roxy at the hospital, and her phone starts buzzing. She's like, that's rude, and then she just doesn't look at them. And she leaves with Dirk because Dirk manipulates her into leaving. Damn. Okay. Well. It's 12:03, which means it's break time. We will come on back to chapter 38. This is, again, so Lalo Hunt wrote this section. Very excited to read this conversation between John and Roxy. It is a fucking good one. This is in my, like, top 3 chapters for all of the epilogues. I fucking love the conversation that they have here so much. Okay. I'm gonna put 5 minutes. Yeah, break 2. Except this one will be longer than 1 minute and 38 seconds. It will be a full 5 minutes. Yes. God, you know, the cover art for this album is so good. I don't know why I'm just, like, taking a closer look at it right now as it's, like, on the screen, and I'm like, damn! That's so fucking good. Anyway. Don't mind me. Let's pop that up. Okay. I'm gonna take a short break, then come back to chapter 38. See you in 5. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I let that song finish, just so I could finish having a little drink. Thematically appropriate as well. Spider Breath, as we just finished the Vriska chapter. Oh yes, and The Carnival is a very good song indeed. That one, 5 times Showdown combo it was used in? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 5 times Showdown combo. Hell yeah. Alright, this chapter is a thing of fucking beauty. Let's go. 38. Roxy tugs at a piece of hair behind her ear with one hand as she checks the time on her phone with the other. John's not late, but Roxy's running out of things to do except wait for him, which is both cosmically appropriate and annoying. It's not like she's been cleaning up for his visit or anything. More just wandering through the house, looking at everything through his hypothetical eyes. Things that changed since he left. Things that stayed the same. She figured there'd be some point when they'd talk face to face again, what with the vast expanse of time laid out in front of them and all. But she'd still been surprised when Jake arranged a friendly visit and ended up asking in hushed tones if she'd be willing to see John again. She'd been open to it from the start, but Jake insisted on this absurd sequence of clandestine meetings to ensure that they'd be safe from Jane's watchful eye. It took an exhausting degree of assurance for her to convince them that John could just come over and that Jane didn't have the house bugged and that she wasn't about to come and have him thrown in prison for having the audacity to want to see his own family. Now that the day of the reunion has arrived, Roxy is just ready to get on with it. So Jake is fucking traumatized from his relationship with Jane. Just this obsessive checking that she wasn't watching. Because that's probably how things were in her house. You know? House bugged. Eyes and ears everywhere. The knock on the door is almost too quiet to hear. She exhales, fluttering her overgrown bangs, and goes to answer. He's even beefier than she remembered, but his posture is turned in on itself, like he's trying to seem small. God, this had better not be another self-flagellation fest. She's prepared to handle a fair few apologies, but has always been a cyclicity to John's contrition, and she can only handle so many self-absorbed attempts at communicating remorse before her head starts to feel like it'll float away from her body. Sup, John? Long time no see. John smiles at her through his hair as he waves hello. One quick slice of his hand through the air, twisting at the wrist. It comes off as shy and boyish instead of hangdog. A good sign. Maybe her jokey casual approach is the right one. That would be handy, because that's really the best angle she's got. She mirrors the movement with her own hand and steps aside for him to come in. Well, alright then, pal. I do believe you know the way to the living room. Yep. Thanks. He clears his throat and follows her gesture. She walks a little behind him, watching his eyes catch on the things she expected. A coat rack covered in scarves, the wall of family photos, a super badass sculpture some chess guy made for her that John always said was weirdly sexual for them. He looks at it now like it's something from an almost forgotten dream. Roxy sighs. Sorry for staring like an idiot. I just got done with a whole week of feeling weird about hanging out in my dad's old house again. I kind of forgot to think about how it would be surreal coming back here, too. Some kind of nostalgia whiplash, I guess. Fair enough, yo. That should be lowercase. She faces him, seated cross-legged on the couch a polite distance away. He looks past her, almost through her, like he usually does. She knows him well enough to know what he's politely not asking. Harry Anderson's out, if you were wondering. He'll scoot back home later, so if you make it through round 1 of awkward ex-family combos, I'm happy to say you can be rewarded with another. Oh, cool. I'd like to see him, if it's okay with both of you. Yeah, we chatted about it. But like I said, one thing at a time. Let's me and you tear through this old Egbert Lalonde estrangement band-aid Let's me and you tear this old Egbert Lalonde estrangement band-aid right the fuck off and see what's going on underneath it. See what we got going on underneath it. Why can't I get my Roxy voice right today? Damn. You missed the start of this chapter because you were talking about Marvel comics. John laughs, and there's a shadowed flicker of warmth to it. Roxy immediately wants to fan it, to make him laugh for real, but she knows by now that it's not her job to make him happy. That was something she gave up on years ago, but wanting to, that feeling is still as fresh as it always was. Oof. Oh, ouch, my heart. Sounds like a plan. So, I've been doing a lot of thinking recently, and I've realized some things. Some stuff that involves you and some that doesn't, but all things I think you deserve to know. Whew. Okay, let me think where to start. You know how Jake left Jane? I mean, I assume you know. Though, no offense, but Jane's version might be skewed. Oh, LMAO, nah, I didn't hear it from Janie. Harry Anderson filled me in on what he got through the teen grapevine. Oh, are you guys not... Never mind. I'm sorry, I came to apologize for my shit, not pry into your business. We don't have to talk about Jane if you don't want to. Roxy shrugs. She's still working through what she feels about distancing herself from Jane, but John actually isn't the worst person she could talk to about it. If he's truly about to be real with her for the first time in forever, she might as well try to meet him halfway. Janie and me haven't been super tight of late. What about politics not coming between friends and all that? LMAO, well, it turns out sometimes someone's politics make it pretty clear what kind of friends they value. Or don't. And, I don't know, sometimes people you used to like when you were a teen grow up to be assholes or whatever. I think I was clinging to something just to prove to myself that I was doing stuff right. Oh, roll out. Hella normal. Be good at sticking with friends. The more I thought about it, the more I figured holding on to that one thing made me lose out on some other shit. You might relate. Haha, you got me there, I guess. Oh, sorry, Taz Homestuck has a god tier take on Roxy Jane. Oh yeah, I saw that one earlier. Yeah. That is an interesting take on the Candy arc, yes. You got me there, I guess. Anyways, I'm not trying to take up all your big speech time with my stuff. You were telling me about how Jake and Janie finally went split ways and how it gave you some kind of epiphany. No, it's cool. I'm glad to hear it. We can come back to your shit after my shit, maybe. But yeah, Jake, he and Tavros are living with me now. I think for the foreseeable future. We were expecting Jane to have kind of a fit about it, but all we've gotten so far are some divorce papers. If she knows where Jake is and she hasn't had a drone fleet dispatched to nuke my house off the planet, I think that's a good sign she's actually just letting them go. Which is kind of surprising, but, good, I guess. Okay, I'll be the first to admit that Jane's turned into kind of a jerk lately, but, she's not actually, literally evil. Lol. That's debatable. That, I feel like this was, the epilogues personally calling me the fuck out, because I say that all the time. But also, it's very true. I think, one could potentially say that JJ is pretty fucking evil here. Yeah, don't know about that one. Sorry to disappoint, but Jane's just a person, and you can't actually blame her for everything that went wrong in our marriage like I was her helpless thrall or something. That's not what I was saying. Okay, neither of us came out here to argue about Janie, did we? You're right. Let's just not talk about her. Yeah. Anyway, I've been doing a lot of thinking about how things got to be like they are, and I guess I'll just come out and say it. I completely fucked up your entire life. I'm not going to pretend like there are two sides here. It's my bad, totally. Not just what happened to our marriage, though it's also true that that's completely my fault. But even before that, I think I fucked up just on this massive fundamental level, and it's what I did, or, well, what I didn't do, that caused every stupid bullshit thing about the way this world is. None of this is supposed to be this way. Honestly, it just doesn't feel right that we got married at all, does it? Your life was heading in this whole other direction with Callie, and I don't know. I just kind of took that from you. I think I ended up taking a lot of decisions from a lot of people. Everything took a back seat to what I wanted. Whatever cosmic significance the lives here do or don't have, all the pointless suffering I've created is inhumane. And, okay, now, I'll stop you right there, my man. She feels a little bit bad cutting him off. This conversational space they've carved out for themselves is balanced on a tenuous trust, and she doesn't want to scare him away. It's just that she could feel his whole speech gathered up inside him, poised to gush out in a long rote ramble, and it's frankly just some bullshit. She knows more than he does, and she doesn't need to hear it. She's not a kid anymore, and she doesn't have to pretend someone else is right just to keep the peace if she doesn't want to. I'm sorry, John, I love you, but this is some hot steaming horse shit. What? John's gaze slides over to focus sharply on her face for maybe the first time since he showed up on her doorstep. Goosebumps trail down her shoulders, but she doesn't let the closeness of it distract her from her frustration. Yeah, so he's going on and on and on, and he's like, no, this is 100%. Here's the thing about place and blame. They're basically, vast majority of situations, never that clear cut. Never 100% one person all the way. Especially with, relationship stuff, it's fucking tricky. It's just some real jerk-off emoji stuff is all I'm saying. You think your choice mattered so much that no one else could measure up? And then what? Did you get what you wanted? Did your life end and the points got tallied and you came out on top? Or what? Still pretty much seems like we're moving to me. And you sure don't seem like you're winning, so where's all this good shit you got that you gotta go around handing out apologies for? Also, damn dude, while we're at it, you forgot to actually say sorry in that apology. Yes, Roxy, rip him a new one. No, I didn't. I just meant, I'm sorry for fucking up your life, for making it not. I like my life. I mean, it ain't perf, and I got my share of fuck-ups and mistakes in there, but you don't get to tell me it's fucked up, or that it isn't real or something. It's mine. So much for the jokey, comfortable approach. She tilts her chin up and tries to breathe evenly as she holds eye contact. He's been looking at her, really looking at her, and she doesn't want to blink, just in case that shatters it. John doesn't respond. He just sits there with his mouth hanging open, staring. He blinks a few times, slowly, but he's still focused completely on her. The corners of his still open mouth pull themselves up helplessly into a smile. What are you looking at me like that for? No, I'm sorry. It's just, I used to be so angry that you wouldn't tell me what you really thought before. Not like I wanted to fight, but I'm just not used to this flavor of Roxy. Sounds to me like you just disproved your own hotshot theory then, genius. Huh? You wished I was one way the whole time we were married. But I wasn't. But now that you're all convinced you're the only real boy in a crowd of puppets, here I am being me just like you ordered, only I did it without your help. Widen your zoom, my man. I'm not acting like this now just because you want me to or because you don't want me to. I was bad at standing up for myself then, and I'm learning to be good at it now. I've got my own self-actualization train. You're just pulling into one of my many Roxy figures or some shit. Or some shit out stations right as I built it. What? Hold up. Let me redo that sentence. The fuck was that? Okay, now I got it. You're just pulling into one of my many Roxy figures some shit out stations right as I built it. But you were never like that before I... Dude, Where the fuck do you get off trying to decide what is or isn't me being like me enough? Do you think people stay the same their whole damn lives or what? You really never felt like anything about our lives here was off? Off from what exactly? The way things should be? What does that mean? John's mouth opens and closes. It seems there's something stuck in the spokes of his rhetorical tire. Roxy can see the gears struggling to turn in his head. She almost feels bad for him. Roxy lets herself take a moment. She doesn't want to reassure him with lies, to tell him he's never fucked up anything in his life. To tell him he's never fucked anything up in his life, but she doesn't want to twist the knife of blame further into him than it needs to go. So she shrugs, looks her ex-husband in the eyes, and tells him the truth. I mean, I felt something, I guess, but it's not just you. You've never been the only player in this game, you know. Do you not remember who all was there when this all kicked off? Me and Callie would have told you wouldn't have told you had a choice if it was all just some meaningless BS. It's not like I was ever some master seer of all that ever was or will be, but I do know a little bit about what could have gone down if things were different. And you know what? I like the way things turned out just fucking fine. So maybe you could stop wasting your precious eternity thinking you're so special that it's your fault everyone's not perfectly happy. John is quiet. Roxy has more to say, maybe. More things she's half thought about, but never quite put words to, regarding the path her life could have taken. This has already been a lot of truth for one moment, though, so she pats John's knee and walks to the kitchen for some water. A glass in each hand, Roxy leans against the counter, breathing. She's still running on the adrenaline of getting all that out, and the surface of the water trembles with it. She watches the ripples, watches her hands. She wonders if they will ever wrinkle. When she sits back down next to John, he takes the glass wordlessly. After a minute of reflective sipping, which she is grateful for, he speaks. I just keep wanting to find ways to make everything make sense, you know? But maybe it just fucking doesn't. I know we became grown-ups in a world specifically and cosmically built for us, so I get wanting to find a pattern in everything, but not everything has to be that deep. And when you think about it, looking at it that way, like everything has to be this elaborately purposeful, heroic design to be worthwhile, is actually pretty shallow. Oh. Yeah, I guess. John scratches the back of his head like an anime love interest, and lets out one mind-fucked exhale of a laugh. His features are droopy and his whole body tired from the mental wringer he just went through, but he's still looking at her for real. Fondness surges through her. Not in a way where she fears the reignition of any romantic feeling. It's just that she understands him, and he's starting to understand her. It's the comfortable way an old t-shirt you thought you'd lost but discovered in the back of the closet is comfortable. Smells mostly musty, but still enough like home to knock you right on your ass. I'm sorry. It's just so hard to not feel like a total asshole. Maybe I'm not some grand vizier of destroying time and space or whatever, but we know that there's a canon timeline out there, and it seems really obvious to me that we aren't in it anymore. So what? So what? Yeah, so what? The fuck do I care that there's some other reality out there someone arbitrarily decided was the real one? What's that have to do with the life I have now? What is there actually that makes this one mean less than that one to the people who are actually in it? You never feel like it would have been better if things had gone a different way? Magic or no, I could have done a lot differently. For you especially. Stuck around or... stayed out of your way to begin with. Let you and Callie do your thing, or do whatever it was you seemed to be headed off to do. I just didn't expect it to be me after... Roxy wrinkles her nose. Thinking about all the lives she could have led makes her feel dizzy. Nah, don't say that. I mean, I accept your apology this time, but there's all kinds of ways shit could have gone. And TBH, back then, with her, mostly I think I just wanted to do stuff right. Not that I knew what the fuck that even meant, LMAO, which was the problem, LMAO, LMAO. Just like, we had this big fresh as hell start at being people. I had all these conflicting thoughts about how to be me in the first place. Like what it meant to date a beautiful skull alien. Sexuality-wise and gender-wise and person in general-wise. For a while there, I didn't know if I wanted people to think of me as a woman at all. I didn't know. Well, I guess maybe I wondered. But the way young idiot me would have wondered, so not that deeply. And it seemed like you'd forgotten all about it when we got together. I hadn't forgotten about it. Do you want to talk about it? I could have told you then, but I kind of felt embarrassed about flip-flopping with my identity, I think. It isn't like I grew up with big air quotes society telling me what was right and wrong like you did. So it wasn't any kind of shame fest. Just a lot of abstract hypotheticals we'd only just started talking about and never got very far into. Just, I don't know, I thought I might do things one way, but then I stopped hanging out with Callie as much. It's not like I stopped thinking about it, or her, but it never really came up with anyone else, and I didn't really feel like I could talk about it with you, so I never brought it up again. I'm really sorry you felt that way, Roxy. It's okay, it's not your fault. But you don't regret it? Not going for that stuff and instead just marrying me? I'm not asking so you can absolve me. I'm just impressed. How do you not second guess every choice you make? I haven't stuck my head in the timeline vortex like you have, so I don't know what it's like to see other options. I just do things the best way I think to do them and then shrug and hope it works out. Roxy thinks about time and the spirals of choice that hang just outside her periphery, and the vertigo grows. She rolls the word regret around in her brain. She feels it on her tongue. John waits. I don't think I can regret anything. There's not only one right way to be IMO. I like the me I am. It's not like when I went and decided, actually, hell yeah, I'd love to be a woman and do all the shit that women shit on the woman checklist. I get that what it looks like outside. I get that that's what it probs. Wow. I'm gonna take a breather so I can actually talk. Until I can actually read out loud again, because my tongue is all twisted up. I'm just I haven't said anything in a while, but that's just because I'm really soaking in this conversation. It's so good because I have so much to say about it. But I kind of wanted the whole train of thought to reach its concluding notes before I say my piece. I get that that's what it looks like outside of my own self, but I don't care about that. Sorry, lol, I'm not good at this whole explaining what transpires in my brain thing. John shrugs, and Roxy gives herself time to think. She remembers how confusing it felt to even approach her identity when this stuff first hit her. There had been some vague truth about the uselessness of rules about how gender should be, but she never quite worked it out. She had stopped thinking about it until she got pregnant. Then she had been so afraid that having a baby would confirm some deep truth within her that she'd pushed away, but that it would be too late to back out. That hadn't happened, and instead there was a strange, all-consuming bodily relief she felt when somehow being pregnant had felt right. It was good in the opposite way that she had expected. She hadn't felt any more womanly than she ever had. It had hit her then that she could think of her body not as specifically female, but as something altogether different. Hers. a flesh machine, shifting pieces around to create a person. Her breasts, which she'd not really known what to do with or how to feel about, suddenly had a specific practical purpose. It had allowed her to retreat from the concept of gender entirely, grounding herself only in the physical reality of using her body to make another. Two heartbeats blending in a rhythm that was nothing but human. She does not know how to articulate this to John. It's convoluted and personal, and she isn't sure she can do the overwhelming goodness of it justice. But then, Harry Anderson is his too, so she knows she has to try. I don't know, this life I've been living gave me Harry Anderson. That kind of outweighs anything else, just for me personally. And it's not like I ever totally quit thinking about gender stuff. I just found a different way to work it out than maybe I was originally gonna. Touching those huge, inarticulate thoughts with words feels bigger than she expected, and tears prick at the back of her eyes. She shakes her head and laughs before John can start crying, too. Okay, I think they start moving into other conversational zones now. So, this specific, the way that they wrote this, like, representation of transness is so fucking important. Because it steps outside of that, like, there's a lot of that, like, oh, I always knew from the time you were little, this has always been who I am narrative that has been popularly adopted because it's easier to understand for cis folks being introduced to the concept of transness for the first time. But that's just, like, that doesn't fit for everyone. And that's okay. Like, so here's how I connected with this. Because one of the things that Roxy says is, like, well, I was thinking about it a lot when I was with Callie, and we were talking about that stuff a lot. But then I kind of stopped. And then, so we see what happens as meet, right? And the transition that happens when Roxy continues to be around Callie. And it's talking about the fact that, like, you know, environment can have an influence on how we feel about certain things and how we express those certain things with regards to gender. And that's not a bad thing. Like, it's always framed that way by transphobes. Like, they're gonna turn our kids trans if they talk about it in schools or whatever. But, you know, like, okay, how am I wording this? So the way in which thinking about this kind of made me realize and connect more strongly with myself. So I am non-binary. But, you know, I'm still, like, I am DFAB, I'm still a feminine person, but I just feel, you know, more comfortable as a no-binary person, using they, them pronouns, all of that kind of stuff, right? Like, but it kind of, reading this and, like, some things that other people had said about the scene, it kind of made me think and realize, like, you know, if I had not been informed in the way that I was, if I did not have so many trans friends, if I wasn't so involved in the queer community, if my partner in high school was non-binary and, like, transitioned to non-binary to being non-binary and, like, using they them and, like, changed their name, like, while we were dating. You know, if I had not had all of this so in my closer community, in my closer world, I probably, the thought probably never would have occurred to me. But, like, so it's not necessarily, but I just, like, knowing those things and I saying, yes, okay, so I'm non-binary and I use they, them pronouns, that's just, those are terms and ways of being referred to that just, I'm so much more comfortable with. They feel so much more me. You know? So it's not necessarily a dysphoria that kind of, because this is, you know, one of the debates in the trans community is, do you need dysphoria to be trans? The answer is no. But because it wasn't necessarily a dysphoria that pushed me towards identifying as non-binary, but rather not gender dysphoria, but gender euphoria, that I feel so much more comfortable and so much more me this way. But I mean, yeah, if I hadn't had that close environment, I don't know if things would have gone that way. But that's not a bad thing. You know? I've put this far more eloquently when I've spoken of it to other people. I don't know why I'm struggling with my words so much right now. Probably because it's 12:45 a.m. and I'm fucking tired. But, trans the entire underage population of Ohio. Nice. Yeah. That's some good shit. But yeah, I feel like I kind of was really struggling with the wording of that. But yeah, so that was how I specifically kind of connected to this. Because, like, yeah, you know, that's, yeah. I keep thinking I have more to add, but, like, I feel like I just need to kind of leave it where it is. Maybe I'll speak to it more succinctly on Sunday stream. Maybe I'll continue to percolate these thoughts and come up with something better. Oh, you couldn't tell that I was struggling with my words? Yeah, I thought it showed in the number of silences where I was just, like, not saying anything. I was like, chemicals in the water turning the Homestuck gas trans. But yeah, I guess if you couldn't tell I was struggling with my words, then, like, mission accomplished, message across, message received. But yeah, so that is how this made me feel, and the kind of realization that it made me have personally with my own identity. And yeah, that's why I think it's just generally really special. You know, especially this whole paragraph here where she talks about how she felt being pregnant. I mean, you know, and that kind of creating that, you know, finally that disconnecting gender from parts and just being like, these are not specifically female. These are just mine. Like, that's such a liberating feeling. And and is specifically in reference to being pregnant. Not thing that I could personally connect to as a person who has never been pregnant, and hopefully never will be, because I have lupus and it would create a lot of complications. But yeah, I would be really interested to hear from someone who's experienced the same thing, being a non-binary, you know, being non-binary, and, or I guess Roxy doesn't specifically say non-binary, but having that kind of disconnect from womanhood womanhood, so to speak, and feeling this way, like experiences with pregnancy kind of thing. Y'all, words sure are happening out of my mouth. You don't even fucking know what your gender is. Honestly, that's why I just kind of be like, I'm non-binary, you know, non-binary or genderqueer is what I normally use. When I first came out as non-binary, I was like, oh, I'm bi-gender and I use all pronouns. And then eventually I was like, no, I think I'm non-binary. I'm just going to use they, them. But after bi-gender, between, rather than genderqueer, I very specifically identify as genderfuck, which is a term that, I don't even remember where I saw it before, but I was like, that works, because, and I still kind of connect with that term, like genderfuck, because I felt like, and I still kind of feel like it really embodies the, like, fuck it, because I spent a lot of time trying to pinpoint what I felt the most connected to, and I was just like, I don't fucking know, and you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna stop trying. I'm just gonna use neutral pronouns and be me, and fuck it. I don't have to have a hyper-specific term for my gender. Just fuck it. And so, I still do kind of connect with that term, but mostly I say non-binary or genderqueer. But yeah, that's genderfuck. Message hello received. Good shit. Alright. We got 10 minutes to close up this chapter. Let's keep on moving. She shakes her head and laughs before John can start crying too. But LMAO, John, we're just adults. We're not dead. I don't know. I mean, we're only, barely middle-aged in regular human years? We got all kinds of hypothetical but still probably finite eternity to work our shit out. Who the fuck knows? It's not like you figure out who you are when you're 23 and then the rest of your life is just sitting back watching your shit fall apart or not. I mean, maybe that's been it for you so far. Right. Oh my goodness. Of course, I forgot to mention this because I am a young person who is 22. But the other thing that was so important that made this whole conversation about gender with Roxy so important is that it shows that she's still realizing these things, and at almost 40, because there's this whole idea that only young people can transition, and it's so not true. Any person can transition at any point in their life. Any person can realize things about their gender at any point in their life. Yeah. So that is also very important. That identity is ever shifting. Yeah, sure, when you're a kid or a teen or in your early 20s, there's like your brain is still developing and there's a lot of major, you're discovering a lot of new things about yourself, and your identity is constantly shifting because you're still growing, right? But like, just because your brain is fully developed, that doesn't mean that you just like stop changing as a person. And you can realize this kind of stuff about yourself at any point in your life. This kind of stuff can change at any point in your life, right? Because gender doesn't have to be a static thing that you're 5 and you're like, oh, I am boy. And then that's just it. The rest of the, gender fluidity is not just for people who identify as gender fluid. Oh yeah, I also love this. She's like, maybe that's been it for you so far. You figure everything out and then you just sit back and watch your shit fall apart. Ouch. I just don't think I'm anywhere near done building those Roxy self-actualization train stops. Who the fuck can say how many more I got lined up? Same goes for you. If you're willing to look at this life as more than a cosmically pointless dead-end failure, that is. I guess. There's literally nothing to do but keep moving forward. I may as well not be a big fucking downer about it if I don't have to be. Yeah, Aleph, that's a mood. That's the spirit. We got 1,000,000 billion lifetimes ahead of us, John. You don't even know all the ways you got left to fuck up in. How's that for some inspiration? It's pretty fucking inspirational, Roxy. They both smile, and it somehow felt more real and warm than it was before. Maybe the cushion of years and lack of pressure makes it so, but she doesn't question it too closely. She doesn't want to go back to where she'd been with him, but knowing they'd both been there together feels like enough. Thank you for trusting me with this personal stuff. I know partly you were telling me all that to kick my sad sack ass, but I know you don't talk about this kind of thing every day. To be real, I hadn't even let myself think about it every day. So, thanks for letting me ramble at you out loud instead of just almost thinking about it once every few years. I guess sometimes it takes hearing the same shit over and over until it sticks. That's mostly an own on myself, by the way. LMAO, we're just ripping off those band-aids left and right over here. A couple of professional issue discussers. Yeah, I'm frankly baffled by how good we are at this. Where was this when we sucked so hard at being married? Buried under a shocking number of issues, is my guess. Well, it's nice to throw a few off for once. Feel free to communicate with me instead of spending the next 300 years in a silent prison of your own making, if you so desire. John nods, and as he opens his mouth, the door opens. Harry Anderson looks at the two of them, all teary and laughing, and hikes his bag higher on his shoulder, shifting his weight. Roxy sees a muscle tighten in his jaw. Her beautiful, smart boy. She wants to run over and hug him, to protect him from the possibility of pain at talking to his father, but she doesn't. She knows how much he's wanted this, no matter how much he jokes about it. She looks back at John and sees her own awe mirrored in his face. She wills him not to cry, not to fall back on his self-imposed suffering and blame loop. Something about the last hour must have done the trick, though. John stands up, brushes his hands on his jeans, and walks back straight toward his son. Hey, Harry Anderson. It's really, really good to see you. Do you want to go for a drive? The muscle in Harry Anderson's jaw clenches a few more times, but when he smiles, it is genuine. Yeah, Dad. That could be cool. Oh, yeah. Definitely in my top 3 favorite chapters of the entire epilogues. God, it's so good. Transfem, transmasc solidarity. True. It's fucking June Egbert hours. It's been like June Egbert month. Can you believe that I forgot that this chapter happens? I forgot I was gonna have to read fucking Barack Obama. Well, that's what's happening tomorrow. We're gonna close off the epilogues tomorrow. Not tomorrow, sorry. Sunday. Yeah, tomorrow, I am going to be out during the day. I am going to a Homestuck meet, and I'm very excited. a chapter where you lost your shit. Oh yeah, I completely fucking lost it the moment I saw the first line from literal Barack Obama. I fucking lost it. Start practicing your Obama impression. Oh god. I don't know, y'all. I think this might end up being one of my worst performances yet. One of my worst character readings yet. Because there's actually a voice to live up to with this one. There's like an actual cadence to get. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'll give it my best shot. Oh. 30 to 50 feral Homestuck Graves. Jesus Christ. Okay, wow, 12:59. We are smack dab on time. So, let's see. Things to go over. Yes. So, the stream schedule for the next week is Sunday and then Tuesday. Sunday, Epilogues finale. Tuesday, Dream Daddy. And then, after knocking down the last few chapters of the epilogues, it will start next weekend. Friday, Saturday weekend? Yeah, Friday, Saturday weekend with the beginning of weekend Dream Daddy streams. So that'll be cool. I don't know exactly how long we're going to how many weeks that's going to be to finish off Dream Daddy. But I do know part of the reason why I made this decision was because I was looking at Dream Daddy and the pace that we were getting through the streams, and I was like, fuck, we're doing like one date per stream, and there's 14, 15, 16, 17 dates left. And that's not even counting if one of the in-between activities is long. So, I was like, well, shit, that's gonna take a long fucking time to finish. And also just my school schedule is kind of wonky this term. So yeah, that's what's starting up next weekend. And then the weekend after that will be Pesterquest. I'm so excited. Okay, but yes, now I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. This weekend, Sunday streams. There will be no stream tomorrow. It will be the day after because I am doing some shit. And then Dream Daddy on Tuesday. Alright, folks. 1:01 a.m. Thanks so much for coming and hanging out with me. I hope you had a lovely time. I know that I enjoyed the chapters we read today. Fingers crossed, I will be seeing you all back here on Sunday night to close off epilogue streams. My goodness, it sure has been a few months. Yeah. Alrighty. Okay. I will see you all Sunday evening. Thanks for hanging out. Have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever you may be getting up to. That is good night from me. I'm going the fuck to bed now. And Homestuck Volume 7, At the Price of Oblivion, will play us out.